Chapter 5, How to Program the Smart Thermostat. This chapter will demonstrate how to program a heating and cooling schedule for the smart thermostat, which can be performed both at the installation site and using the internet. Let's first take a look at the smart thermostat display controls. The smart thermostat display shows the current indoor temperature, temperature setting, the day and time, fan setting, and the system currently in use. The display will also indicate if the smart thermostat is following a programmed schedule or if a demand response control event is occurring. The smart thermostat allows customers to schedule different temperature settings for different days and times, depending on their schedules, to maximize energy savings. The smart thermostat allows customers to set different temperature settings for up to 4 different time periods for Monday through Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The 4 time periods for these day settings are wake, leave, return, and sleep. Wake is the time from when you wake to the time you leave for the day. Leave is when you are away during the day. Return is when you return home. Sleep is the time you go to bed until the time you wake. For a commercial customer, you can select 2 time periods, leave and return. This is done by selecting Setup Function 540 and setting 3, which is performed during the Energy Specialist Setup procedure. Energy Specialist Setup is discussed in Chapter 4, and the setup functions and settings are referenced in your student manual. Bring the customer over to the smart thermostat and ask them to provide you their completed pre-temperature chart card. You will program the customer's schedule settings using the pre-temperature card. Ask the customer to stand in a location that they can clearly see the display. You will want to be sure to show the customer how to perform these programming steps so that they are comfortable with the features of their new smart thermostat. To schedule settings, press Schedule, shown SCHED, and then Edit. Select the day you want to program by pressing that button. You will now select the time and temperature setting for the 4 time periods of the selected day. The smart thermostat automatically selects Wake as the first time period. Press the up or down arrows adjacent to the displayed time to select a time. Then press the up or down buttons for the desired heating and cooling temperature settings. Select Leave and repeat the programming steps to select the leave, time, and temperature for both heating and cooling settings. Repeat this process for the return and sleep schedules. You can review the programmed schedule by selecting the day and selecting the time period, wake, leave, etc. If you are satisfied with the settings, select Done. This will save the program, exit the schedule settings screen, and return to the main display. If you wish to exit the schedule settings display, but do not want to save the settings, select Cancel. When you are programming schedule settings, you can select Cancel Period to eliminate any unwanted time period. You can also customize the fan setting for any time period. To do this, while in a selected time period, press Fan to select a desired fan setting. A customer can temporarily or permanently override the programmed schedule. To temporarily override the programmed temperature, press the up or down arrow to adjust the set temperature. This will adjust the temperature setting for the time period that the smart thermostat is currently in. This will be the temperature setting until the next scheduled time period change occurs. For example, if you increase the temperature setting in wake mode, the temperature will automatically return to the programmed setting when the leave time period occurs. To cancel the temporary override, press Cancel and the program schedule will resume. To permanently override the programmed schedule, set the smart thermostat to the desired temperature and press Hold. This will turn off the programmed schedule. Whatever temperature you set will be maintained until you manually change it or press cancel to return to the programmed schedule. The fan can be set to the following settings. On, the fan will operate until the setting is changed. Auto, the fan will operate only when the heating or cooling system is on. Circ, which stands for circulate, the fan will operate when the heating or cooling system is on and randomly about 35% of all other times. To select a fan setting, press Fan to scroll through the fan settings. Once you have selected the desired setting, press Done. The system settings are the heating and cooling settings. The setting options are Heat. The smart thermostat will control only the heating system. Cool. The smart thermostat will control only the cooling system. Off. Heating and cooling systems are turned off. EM Heat, which stands for emergency heat. This setting is only for heat pumps. The smart thermostat controls emergency and auxiliary heat. To select a system setting, press System to scroll through the system settings. Once you have selected the desired setting, press Done. Once you have completed programming the smart thermostat according to the customer's pre-temperature chart, be sure to introduce the customer to the following smart thermostat displays and how to manage the features and settings. Current time and room temperature. Day of the week. Fan on, auto, and circ features. System selection for off, cool, and heat. Temperature up, warmer, and down, cooler arrows. How to temporarily override the scheduled program. 5-year battery life and how to replace the battery if needed. 5-minute time delay. Explain what the following buttons are and how they operate. Done. Schedule. Hold. Clock. Screen. Cancel. Explain the types of messages they may see on their smart thermostat. Savings will appear when their smart thermostat is receiving a signal to perform a demand response load control event. Pre-cool will appear during the period immediately before a demand response control event if a pre-cool option is in use. Recovery will appear after a demand response load control event while the air conditioner is returning the indoor temperature to normal temperature setting. Preheat will appear during the period immediately before a demand response load control event if the thermostat setting is raised. This does not indicate that the heating system is operating, only that the temperature is being raised. Ramp will appear when the demand response load control event temporarily raise the thermostat setting to a warmer temperature to lower electricity demand. During the time that the temperature is changing from the normal setting to the new setting, the word ramp will appear. After the temperature reaches the new setting, the smart thermostat will display savings. The utility company may also send short custom messages to the smart thermostat which may appear on the display. Show customers how to access the advanced screens by pressing System and then pressing and holding the center button. This will access the customer advanced settings screen. This is similar to the Energy Specialist setup screen, but provides fewer setup options. Present the Customer Quick Reference Guide to the customer and explain the information. Show the customer the information on how to access their smart thermostat temperature settings using the Internet. Place a serial number sticker from the smart thermostat on the Customer Quick Reference Guide on the username line. The customer's password is password. Explain that this information will need to be entered on the website in order to access their smart thermostat controls. Also, explain to the customer that once logged in, they will be able to select a different username and password. Suggest that they write that information on the Customer Quick Reference Guide. The customer should be encouraged to change their password the first time they log on to the Smart Thermostat scheduling web page. Explain to the customer that they will not be able to access the smart thermostat using the internet for a few days, as it will take some time to enter the completed work order into the system. After you have explained the smart thermostat operations and answered any customer questions, indicate that you will place the customer's old thermostat next to their furnace or give it to them for proper storage. It is important that the customer keep their old thermostat since it is their property. If for some reason the customer wishes to opt out of this program, their old thermostat could be reinstalled. If their old thermostat is suspected of containing mercury, offer to remove the thermostat for proper recycling. If the customer wishes to keep the thermostat, show that you have placed the old thermostat in a sealed Ziploc bag to help prevent a mercury spill if the internal vials of mercury should break, and that you will place the box next to their furnace or hand it to them for proper storage. Call your supervisor immediately if you suspect the mercury has spilled. If the customer has no questions, ask permission to perform the Energy Efficiency Assessment. You have completed Chapter 5. Please complete the chapter quiz located in your student manual. This training video will pause until you select Continue, and then we will review the quiz.